The shadows are near, tales of the lost and haunted, we're here.
Welcome back, seekers of the unexplained. Tonight we journey back to the heart of Raleigh, the historic North Carolina state capital. Built in 1840, it stands as a Greek revival gem and a nexus of ghostly whispers. But tonight, our story isn't in the Grand Rotunda or the Senate chamber. It's hidden in the hushed, dusty shelves of the third-floor library. Now, this episode may not have all what we wanted to show you, because what happened to our footage was very unfortunate and maybe just a little bit strange. We were there, we filmed, we recorded, we walked the halls, stood quietly in the library, sat in the elevator long enough to feel the old mechanisms rumble beneath our feet. But almost all that footage, gone. Deleted, we're still not sure, maybe it was my fault. I do recall saving the footage as always, and I opened the project file for edit, and every last clip from that day was missing. Except for a few photos from my son's little camera and my iPhone, we have no visuals, but we do have some audio we have yet to review. The Capitol is a beautiful building. Its foundations stretch back to the early 1800s, built on the ashes of the previous State House, which burned down in 1831. Since then, the structure has seen it all: Civil War tensions, Reconstruction, civil rights protests, and more than a few renovations. But despite all that history, no violent crimes or deaths are tied directly to the building itself. That's what makes this particular haunting unusual. You see, stories started surfacing in the 20th century, mostly from nighttime guards, custodians, and employees who had a reason to stay late. They'd hear footsteps echoing down the stone corridors where no one else was in the building. They'd smell cigar smoke out of nowhere, no explanation, no source. The third floor library, that's where the energy really shifts. We asked a front desk employee if he could comment off the record, and in a stern tone, he told me that he'd prefer not to comment or focus on such stories. The guard, on the other hand, had other comments. Whether he was just entertaining my kids or actually reporting tales that he had experienced himself, the stories seemed to align with the online accounts and reports. The day we visited, everything felt calm, still, too still. The library was empty when we stepped foot in it, silent and cold. We set up cameras and we ran an audio recorder to see if we can catch something on it. And then we walked. We stood still, we listened. My kids were with me and my son brought his little kid camera, one of those little chunky camera models for beginners. He wandered nearby quietly, taking pictures like he was part of the crew. I figured we might get a few blurry shots for fun. But then I looked at the photos a few days later and noticed that he had taken some pretty decent shots. We knew no one else was there, so we had the freedom to walk the halls, record some audio and some video, and take photos. Unfortunately, as I said, we didn't have anything to show for it now. But we still had our audio files, and I didn't even listen to them until tonight. The elevator recording is mostly what you'd expect: mechanical creaks, some shuffling, a little ambient hum, us talking, and my kids. So let's have a listen and see what we got.
What is that?
Let's see if you hear something.
Yeah.
Shh, Maya. Now let's listen to the audio recording from the library. And we're just gonna see if we capture anything. You're not supposed to move, goofball. You're making noise. We couldn't make out any strange sounds from those recordings, so we packed up our gear and left for the day. I must say the employees seemed bothered when I asked them at the front desk about commenting on ghostly tales, even if it was just for the entertainment of my kids. There's definitely something going on in that building, something quiet, maybe something careful, not malicious, at least not that day. But be aware. Maybe it was just a coincidence that our footage was erased, or maybe whatever's haunting the Capitol prefers not to be seen, only heard, only felt. I'll let you decide. Thanks again for tuning in. This is Tales of the Lost and Haunted. See you next time.